Grab your fabric and come relax with me as I add the final details to the cottage quilt block. Stay tuned.
Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Worries on my mind, it's been a tough week. My life feels a void. There's something that I need. My supplies on the table, I grab a comfy seat. I need to craft to put my mind at ease. Crafting changed my life, it mends my soul. In my happy space, I'm in full control. It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting videos on, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting's good for the soul, it's so true. Bringing beauty into the world.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, gifted crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and on this channel, we do everything and just have a fantastic time doing it. If it's following along the lines of crafting, yes, sewing, quilting, demos, we do tips and crochet and all kinds of things that we do on this channel. It's a little bit of every single type of craft. You never know what we're going to do here, but we always have a lot of fun doing it. So thank you again for joining and tuning in, and I hope you just have a great time. All right, let's see who we have with us this morning. I see Bettina. Good morning to you. We've got Deborah. Good morning. She's from New Mexico. We've got Lori from Virginia. We've got our friends from Canada, and I hope everyone is staying nice and warm today. We've got Sue Galvin, who's got -10 wind chill. Wow. Ouch. Yeah, stay indoors and just, craft. You've got Robin's Coat Basket. Good morning, Lisa Lilly. -43 with some wind chill. We've got Melissa Hutchins from East Texas. We've got Keisha from Tennessee. Oh my goodness. We've got Cheryl from Wisconsin. We've got Kathy. Good morning to you. Faker McFake, good morning to you. We've got so many others. Jenny Owens, Heather Kaufman, Nancy from Boston. We've got Jeanette from Knoxville, Tennessee. Georgette from Knoxville, Tennessee. We've got Marge from Wisconsin. We've got Barb. We've got Cindy Ball. Good morning, Melinda. We've got, Joyce Adams. Good morning to you. Faith Hughes from Alabama. Deborah Bio, good morning to you. Sharon, good morning to you. She's from Texas. Oh, we are hunkering down for the storm. Yeah. Gotta hunker down there. Chris Click, good morning to you from Ohio. JBL, good morning. Melinda, good morning. Boricua Sewing and Crafts, good morning to you. And good morning to everyone out there. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to kind of go through the chat quickly here. River Rose, good morning to you as well. I hope you guys, wherever you are, the weather out there is just so crazy out there. Oh my goodness. Now I know why we have so many snowbirds that come here to Florida. I'm in Miami, Florida, so I am nowhere near any of that cold weather. I have to tell you, but I do feel for you guys. I mean, that's some scary stuff going on out there. It's going to be about 80 degrees high over here today. We do have a little bit of a thunderstorm that's going to be coming in probably in the afternoon with a low of 67. So yeah, not as cold over here. We just got a little bit of stormy weather, but I really am sending all my warm wishes to you guys, and I hope you guys stay nice and toasty indoors and maybe do a little bit of crafting, sewing, who knows, right? Can be anything. Okay. So I've got my printer going off there on the side, so apologies for that. So if you are new to my channel, or you know, are not hasn't been here for a while, I like to kind of start all of my sessions off with a little bit of a toast. So go ahead and raise your glasses wherever you are. Hopefully you have something warm to toast with, like coffee, tea, soda, water. It doesn't matter. There's no judgment here. But guys, it's Friday. Yay! And probably a lot of you called out sick today because of the weather. If you didn't want to go out, I don't blame you. But let's go ahead and raise your glasses and let's keep you nice and toasty. And if you don't have a glass, I will pour you one. So there's your mug there, something nice and hot and warm and toasty. So hopefully you guys have something really nice and warm to toast with. Raise them nice and high. Let's just toast to everyone staying nice and warm. And the fact that it's Friday, yay. Go ahead and grab a little swivel. Oh, I see. Chris, you're heading to Ocala next week. Nice. If you can get out of Ohio with an RV, looking forward to some sunshine. Well, you're definitely going to get it here. I can tell you that. You will definitely get a lot of sunshine here because it's been unusually really warm. Usually we get a little bit of a cool spell, but it's been kind of up and down. Oh my goodness. Negative 40 this morning in Northern Ontario, Canada. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's really cold. Hope you stay really nice and warm and stay inside. Yeah, this is just crazy. It's just really, really crazy. Now, I used to live in New York, so I know what it is getting up in the morning with that snow and that wind. You know, we used to have to take the train and the bus to go to school. And oh my goodness, it was so cold. I remembered that. But couldn't do it anymore down here in Florida. And, you know, have not missed it ever since. All right, let's get you some warm snacks, shall we? Because I think you need to warm up just a little bit more. Let's go on over and grab our food truck because, yay, it's Friday and we've got everything in the truck. There's all kinds of warm things on the food truck. Just anything that you would like, we have it on there. Get yourself some warm snacks, okay? Because you definitely want to keep nice and toasty. We even got that healthy stuff for the carrots and the kale. And for those of you who just don't want to get out of that bed, don't worry, we've got the drone coming to you. And they will deliver you a nice cup of coffee with a little bit of a warm snack with you, okay? Anything you want, just put in your orders, okay? Put in your orders right away and we will do it in 30 minutes or less, okay? All right, so you've got your coffee, you've got your little snacks. Let's get to it because I hope you're in your cozy spot or a little safe place to watch. So let's talk about quilting, shall we? Okay, so if you haven't been tuning in, we've been working on the Quiltered Cottage. This is a book by Lori Holt and it's a quilt that is a massive quilt, 74.5 by 89 inches, so pretty big quilt, probably the biggest I think that I've ever done. And you can see it right here, she's just such a cutie. little house with the trees and the flowers and the picket fence. And you can't see it on the book cover, but because it's got 3 little pillows blocking it, but those 3 little pillows are hanging on a little laundry line. And that's all part of the quilt. So yeah, you can make anything other. If you don't want to make the quilt, you can also make a table runner and some pillows. And gosh, we've talked about so many different ideas that you can make. Just a quilt within a quilt, just the blocks themselves. You can just do so many things. Oh, Shay Shay, you ordered the book? Yeah, the book is so much fun, and it's got so many nice instructions, colorful illustrations. It really does do a fantastic job. This is the layout itself of the quilt, and you can see here all the different pieces on here. It just looks like so much fun. Now, I'm using my own stash, and I'm trying my best to kind of coordinate all the colors that are on the book. So, you know, it's going to be really a lot of fun. Oh, good morning, Lady Blue Blair. Thank you for joining. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. So, guys, this is on here on my tray. Let me just move this out of the way. I've got a couple of trays on here, okay? We've got a couple of trays with some more fabric that got cut out last night. And so some of these are all labeled here. And I have, besides having what's laid out here, I also have a piece of Rickrack. But unfortunately, I don't have the color of the Rickrack that I need. I found Rickrack, but it's blue. And I need it to be white. So I'm going to have to make a little stop at the store to pick up some Rickrack. Now you can pick up Rickrack anywhere, Walmart, anywhere, doesn't matter. It's just Rickrack. You can go to your quilt shop and that's great too, but Walmart has it as well. Just a little bit of Rickrack is all you need. And that Rickrack is going to be represented on top of the chimney here. And you can see the little swirls that they have on the chimney. So you're going to be putting some Rickrack there, and you also have Rickrack going across the little laundry line. So you'll need a nice long piece over there. Okay, so those are the pieces where you're going to use that. Now the pattern also indicates that you want to get a little button. That little button's going to go on the door right there. Okay, so you'll want to kind of pick up a cute little button for your door handle as well. So cute. I love that it's using these little things to kind of just make it just a little bit different. So that's a lot of fun. So yesterday we started off making the window. And so I finished it up, and we've got our little window panel here. Okay, let's coordinate here. There we go. There's the little window panel, and you can see the little yellow squares here with the little cross and the little pane, and then all I did was add the white border all the way around it here. So super cute. I think it came out adorable. I really love that. And so you need 2 of them. So I've got 2 of them here. And so, whoops, there we go. And so these 2 windows will go on the house, and you see how big this window is. This house is going to be huge. It is not a small little house. It is going to be very big. So, you know, the quilt is very big, and we've seen these blocks that we've had. They're huge. So this is a lot of fun to have. So I have the window all set to go. We also had already done the steps for the house that go right in front of the house. Those are already done as well. So really the last thing that we are doing is just working the sides of the house with the chimney, and then we'll be working the front and just putting all of that together. So, I mean, this is kind of the first quilt of 2026, and we are almost done with it. So if you've been following along with me, you know, I've just been doing about an hour a day, every day, right? And then I do a little bit at night cutting fabric and just finishing up whatever we didn't get to finish in the morning. So it can be done, just breaking it down into pieces and just working on it a little bit every single day. Just get that dedication in, an hour a day, and look, we've already just about finished this quilt, so it can be done. So don't look at the entire quilt and think, oh my gosh, that's going to take forever. it can take forever if you let it take forever. Don't let it take forever. Go ahead and just organize yourself and put together a little schedule for you to be able to make this out. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Uh-oh. I see more things going on in the chat. You guys are just too much. You're still time to add a doghouse for Mr. H. There is still time for that, Cindy. And you know, depending how my weekend goes, you know, just don't know. Just don't know. No doghouse. No, he doesn't want the doghouse. Well, you know, I would like a little puppy or something, right?
You want a puppy?
I want a puppy.
No.
Can I get a puppy? Yes, I want a puppy.
All right, fine, sure.
I want a puppy. Can I get a puppy?
Sure.
Mr. H is going to let me get a puppy now. But that's not the puppy that I wanted.
You sure?
Yes, she's a cutie puppy, isn't she? She's adorable. All right. Yes, puppy. Okay. Yeah, puppy requires a lot of work. I used to have 2 dogs. I used to have 2 toy poodles. Yeah. 2 completely different personalities, I can tell you. One just knew she was a poodle, and she knew it, and she was very prissy and very obedient, super smart, very, very sweet dog. But she can be really mean. And then I had the other poodle that just didn't think or know that she was a poodle, or he, I should say he was a poodle. They were both he. Sorry, I keep saying she. It's he. They were both boys, and he was a poodle, but I don't know what he thought he was, but he was just not a poodle. He was just everywhere. He loved to be in the dirt, didn't listen to a thing that I said, did his own thing. I mean, he was a hot mess. He was a hot mess. But yeah, he kept me busy, all right. Oh yeah, I have stories with that dog. And I have stories on how I got the dogs. So yeah, that'll be for another day. All right, let's get to it, okay? So we've got our windows all done. I'm gonna set these over to the sides. And I have to tell you guys, I've been working with the 2 rulers for the most part on this quilt, along with my large ruler when I'm cutting off the bolt. But I have to tell you that this ruler right here, and I recently got this from Missouri Star. This is just a 10-inch ruler, and you know, I'm really liking this ruler a lot. I don't know if it's because of the color of the ruler. I just feel like everything, it's so bright, and it makes it so easy to see underneath. And I don't know, the lines are thinner than the ones that I have. I think it's just a better quality ruler, and I'm really liking this ruler. So I don't know, what rulers do you guys use? Which ones are your favorites? There's so many that are out there. When I first started, I was just picking up OmniGrid. And so I have a lot of OmniGrid because that's what Joann's carried a lot. And when I would go there, you know, I'd pick them up. But since then, you know, I've ordered other specialty rulers and things like that. And I have a 10.5-inch squared ruler, but I wanted the 10-inch one. So I ordered it because it was on sale at Missouri Star, and I went ahead and I ordered it. And, you know, I just love this ruler. This is really, I feel like I just can really see underneath the ruler. I just feel like my cutting is improving with this ruler. So I'm not sure what you guys use for rulers. If you have a favorite brand or anything like that, but let me know. So far, this has been really nice. I do like my OmniGrids, but sometimes I feel like the lines are just a little thick. But I'm not sure if that's just me. But let me know if you have a favorite brand ruler. What brand do you guys use, and why do you like it so much? Because I'm kind of considering kind of branching out to other brands of rulers to kind of see if there are better ones that are out there. So, you know, I'm a ruler girl. I just love my rulers, and you can just do so many things with them. So I am on the market for some better rulers out there. So let me know what you guys use. All right, so let's get to it. We're going to go ahead. We've already got the window done. So we're going to start working on that side of the house, and then we're going to work up to the chimney. So for the side of the house, you're going to need fabric B. And I have fabric B with two different ones because I have B and I have BB, but my little letters don't go as high. So, so I'm kind of using it for both things here. So let me just reclip, and I have to tell you, the clips really helped out because my little letters were just sliding everywhere yesterday. It was driving me nuts, and I finally brought out the clips. So okay, so let's do this one here. I'll leave this piece here for now. We'll fold that up, and then we're going to need K. So K, this is the roof color that I picked. Let me pull one out and I'll show it to you. Okay, so this is the roof color that I decided to go with. Okay, this may look a little familiar. I use this as one of the petals on the flowers. So I wanted to kind of tie it all in. So I'm going to use that as my roof. And so what we're going to do is just kind of put these, you see they're huge pieces, right? So we're going to put these two together like that. And we're going to draw a diagonal line, and this is going to kind of be, let's see here, kind of one side of this. So we're going to have to do one of these numbers. Okay. So kind of like that stitch and flip thing. So let's draw the diagonal line on the back of fabric B. So I'm going to grab my pencil, and I will grab a ruler. Just need a small one. Well, at least one that will go corner to corner. Why don't we just go ahead and use this one? So I can show you guys what I mean. So when I line this up corner to corner, I can do it. Let's see, this one has, you want to look to see what kind of angles your rulers have. And if you have that 45-degree angle, it's great because you can use that to your benefit. And you'll want to line up the 45-degree angle on the edge of your square here. Okay, so from one side to the other, and then that should get you pointed directly to your corner right here. So we've got that 45-degree line going to the end of our square right there, and that'll give us perfectly cornered to corner on this end here, if your cut was good. Okay, so then once I have that, I'm just going to hold my ruler down and just go ahead and mark my fabric and take that away. So there is my diagonal line, and I am going to go ahead and put this, let me see if I leave it here, it's not too much of a glare. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put that on top of fabric KK, right sides together, and that's where we're going to stitch right alongside that diagonal line. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you're going to have a left and you're going to have a right. So this one is the left, and then the right one you're going to do on the opposite side here. So pay attention to the orientation that you have set up for here. Okay, so this one's a pretty large piece. I'm going to be sewing this way, so I'm going to put my pins in the opposite direction. So I'm just going to stick a pin on here so it does not move, and keep that in place. I'm going to draw my little X. That indicates that I'm going to be sewing on this side of the line, and that will give me enough space to be able to flip the fabric over. So let's move some of this over because we've got to wake up Miss Molly over here. There we go. And good morning to Miss Molly. Okay, here we are. We're gonna go ahead and align her up. Again, look for your little X so you remember which side of the line you want to sew on. The X is on this side here. So that's where we want to be. I'm going to grab my little sewing foot here. Here we go. And I think we're ready to go. I'm sewing right alongside that line. Okay. And by sewing right alongside that line, gives me just enough space to flip that fabric over. See that? There we go. Okay. So bringing this over, removing that little pin, and I'm going to flip this over here and kind of just finger press that down. We'll bring that over to our iron, but this should fully cover your base fabric, which was fabric KK. Okay, you should not see something like that. I should not see the back of the fabric at all. Okay, once you press it down flat, you're going to see that it's all the way covering both sides. Okay, we've got that nice diagonal there. Okay, so we've got that one done. We will need to trim the back here, but I want to go ahead and press that first. So I'm going to set it over to the side. We're going to do the second one. This is again fabric KK. Bring that over. And then you also need fabric B. Okay. Now on my fabric B, when I did my cutting, I didn't notice that I grabbed a little bit of selvage here on the end, but it is less than 1/4 inch. So I am going to just leave it, and that's going to be eaten away in the seam allowance and no one's going to see it. So I'm not going to worry about it and stress myself out over it. So here, what I can do, let's see here. If I go this way, right sides together, all right, actually it's going to be on this side now. And this one is going to go this way like that. Okay. That's what we need. So we're going to draw the line corner to corner again. Let me slide this out from underneath there. Once again, aligning my 45-degree angle with the bottom of my square. Yep, there we go. And then grab my marking pencil and mark that. Okay. There we go. And let's just put this right sides together here. Don't forget to flip that over and have it right sides together. And then we're going to pin it on the opposite direction. There we go. Okay. This is where we would be marking that letter X, where my pin is. Okay. All right. Let's take that to the sewing machine. There we go. Line her up. Nice big blocks, so it's like a nice long sew. So that's pretty neat. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and flip that over, finger press that down, and you can see that I've covered the entire area. Okay. Now let's bring out our little iron here and get this nice and pressed, because we're going to work on the chimney next. And we also need to cut the excess on the bottom here. Okay. All right. Waiting for that iron to kind of heat up a little bit. While it's heating up, let me just grab the fabrics. We're going to need N. We're going to need C. Somewhere in here is C. It's kind of stuck. Here we go. That's M. Here is C. All the way behind it. And we are going to need, what is that? G, which is back here as well. So these are the 3 you're going to need. I'm going to set these over to the side. I think my iron's ready. And we're going to press that down a little bit. Make sure that we got that. Whoops, I just moved it. There we go. Okay. Make sure that seam is nice and solid. And then I'll grab the other one and do the same thing. Work against that seam. Make sure that she's nice and flat. And then I'll just give the rest of it a little bit of a press as well since I'm here. So we've got our 2 pieces. This is going to be the left and right pieces here. And then we're going to go ahead and assemble the little chimney. So already kind of looking like a little house top, right? If we kind of put the 2 together here, it's already looking like a house. So exciting. Or rooftop, I'm sorry, rooftop. Well, it's part of the house. We're looking at the house. So let's go ahead and cut that excess off. Again, I'm going to line up my ruler with that 1/4 inch seam. See how clear that is? It's like I can really see what's underneath. I don't know what it is. Is it the color of the ruler? Is it because the lines seem to be thinner? I'm not sure what it is, but I'm really loving this ruler. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the second one here. Let's flip that over. Line this up on my seam line. And then I'm going to go ahead, cut the excess off. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. All righty. Now, let's move over to the chimney, shall we? Yay. We're moving right along, everyone. Moving right along. Now, we're going to make 2 of these chimneys. So, let's see. Fabric N. You know what? Fabric N looks dark in the picture. Let me just do a little look-see to make sure I'm picking up the right one. Let me stick this Rickrack over to the side. Because you've got N and then you've got NN. And sure enough, here's the other N. So it's not the white one, it's the dark one. Right, so it's the dark N. Let's see, we've got C, C, and then we've got G. So I think I've got the right ones there. Almost put the wrong one on, but you can always check the size of the cut for that particular letter, just to make sure you got the right one. So for N, it's 1.5 by 6.5. And let's just check here. Oh gosh. Do I have the right one? Did we cut it in the right one? Let's see here. I've got 5.5, but it's NN. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 1.5 by 5.5. So that's correct. Okay. So this is the 2 pieces you're going to need there. Okay. And then we're going to also need G and CC. So let's look at G. G should be 1.5 by 3.5. So this is where I kind of check to see, and that's what I have here. So this is the correct one. And you're going to need a couple of those here and here. And then, and that kind of uses up all of the ones I had for G and N. And then we have the last letter, and I just need to check that one. 3.5 inch. So I believe it's this one. Okay. Yep, we're good. Okay. See, that's, if you've got the double letters, use the double letters. I don't have the double letters, so I'm kind of doubling up on these letters here. And it can be a little confusing. I mean, it's not too bad. It's just you have to stop and check to make sure you got the right one. So now that I've got the right pieces of fabric, I think we're ready to go. So let's just kind of lay this out and how this is going to work here. So I've got this fabric here, and I've got these two little ends, and then this one is going to go right in the middle there. And we're going to sew all these pieces together. And I'll have to make sure my fabrics are facing the right way, and that's what it's going to look like once we're all done. So this one's pretty simple, guys. Right sides together. You're going to do your sides first, and then you're going to attach your top. So let's go ahead and scoot these over. I'm going to need Miss Molly over here. And we're going to bring her up here, and we're going to line them up here. So let's line up our pieces. Here we go. And then I will put her underneath here, and we'll go ahead and do that seam. Okay, pretty simple. I will finger press that back out. Seams are going out. And then I'll go ahead and I'll do the other side. Line that up, and there you go. Guys, I don't know, what plans do you have for the weekend? If anyone doing anything exciting this weekend, or is everyone just kind of staying home and staying warm? Alrighty, there we go. There's our middle piece. Now we've got to line her up with that top piece here. So I want to give her a little press, and then we're going to go ahead and line her up with this top. So let me just grab, actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and do the second one. That way I can press them together. So let's go ahead and get the next one all prepped as well. Kind of move a little faster here. Want to get some more sewing in today. Okay. Lining her up here. Pushing my little tail to the back. Okay, and then I will line up the other one on the other side. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, now we can open her up and grab my little iron here, and we can press her down. Just make sure your seams are going to the outside. So just finger press that down and hold that in place so I can grab my iron and put it right on that seam and let the heat soak in. Okay.
Honey,
Yeah.
they want me to strut my stuff and model a quilt.
They want you to strut your stuff and model a quilt. Okay. Sure. Why not? We do anything on this channel, right?
Well, Robin said to do it, and it's Robin, so you know how to do it.
So now it's raw. Okay, so hubby over here is gonna kind of model his stuff and show off his little quilt. So why don't you go ahead and do that while I press these?
This is my debut.
All right, your debut's coming. Oh my goodness. Really? Well, I love that quilt. Yes, I do.
Don't I look fabulous?
You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Absolutely fabulous. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna set Miss Molly over to the side a little bit because we've got to do some squaring up, and we've got to kind of, before we add this final piece, I want to make sure that we are in the right size. So first I'm going to grab those larger pieces that we did, the little rooftops, and the finished measurement should be 5.5 by 11.5. So I want to see, now this ruler is going to be too small for me to do this with, but I'm going to check one way and then I'll check the other. So let's see. Let's check the 5.5 inch. Yeah, let's see. There's some trimming. Let me put it on the 5.5 inch mark. See, I can see a little bit of a bend. So let's see here. Yeah, that's a little straighter. Okay, so a little bit to trim off here on the end at the 5.5 inch mark. Not much, but it's some. But I'm going to use a longer ruler because this is just not going to cut it. So we will grab this ruler and I'll line her up at 5.5 inches. And I'm just going to want to square her off completely and make sure that we're nice and squared. So let's see if I can kind of do this here. Yeah, we're at the 5.5 inch mark here. Got a little bit to trim off. So let's trim that piece off right there. I've got a little bit to trim off on this side here. I'm going to kind of do this, trim that off here. Not ideal to do, but I didn't have my rotating mat underneath it for some reason. I always forget it, and I have it right in front of me. But we're just going to go really quickly on this. So let's see. We've got that 5.5 inch mark. I know that I'm squared off on this end here. And I'm only looking at the 5.5 inch, making sure that I am squared off. There we go. And actually there's nothing to cut, so we're perfect on this, just one little piece of thread. So we'll get that out of the way. And this is also at 11.5. So I'm gonna check here, 11.5. I really am just looking to make sure that I am squared. Yeah, and let's see if I can do that here. You know, it's a tiny, tiny bit to cut, but we are at that 11.5 inch mark. So I'm just going to make that little trim. It's just so little, but we're good. Okay. Nothing to cut on this side that I could tell. But I will double check again. Yeah, there's nothing to cut here. Okay, so we're good here. Do the same thing on the other one. You just want to take these steps in between. It's going to save you a whole lot of headache later. Okay, let's see. We're going to go here in 11.5. And I am right on the 11.5 inch mark. There's really nothing to cut there. And there is good too. So I'm just going to trim this right here. That little piece. And there is a tiny slither, and I'm just going to grab it this way. Not ideal to do, but I'm going to do it. There we go, because there's nothing to trim there. So, not too bad. Now let's check the smaller pieces. So the smaller pieces here, I've got the measurement, and let's do that. Oh, actually the measurement is with the top. So let's put the topper on then. We're going to go ahead and put the topper on this one here. Now, I'm looking at it, and I think I want it on this side. I like the marble thingies here. I'm looking at this here, and I'm looking to make sure that my fabric that I cut, that I'm now putting into it, is going to be edge to edge. If you're seeing that it's off, you know, like something like this, you know, or more than 1/4 inch, then you got to stop, go back and redo your seams here on the side because you're off by that 1/4 inch, or your cutting is off. Okay, so that's a little stopping point right there. If not, you should be able to put that fabric on top and it should reach edge to edge just like that. Okay, then go ahead and just do right sides together and bring that to your machine. So let's do that. Okay, line her up here. And I'm going to lay her flat and just kind of use my fingers to scratch her into position here. Okay, let's hold on to that, and I'll go ahead and I will sew that seam. She slipped on me just a little, but it's fine. She slipped on me slightly, so I see that little bit of a background, but it's so tiny that is not worth me going back out and cutting, because that's going to be trimmed off, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, here we go. Finger press that open. There's our little chimney. Very good. Okay, let's do the second one. Same thing here. I'm going to line her up. And bring her over. And then we'll go ahead and stitch that. Okay. Same thing here, just fold her over. We've got that second chimney. Now we're going to have to square her off. Before we do that, we want to give her a good press. Very important that you press it, because if you don't, you could be squaring it off incorrectly. And once you cut that fabric, there's no going back, right? Okay. Here's one. And here is the other one. I am determined to finish this quilt top this weekend. So whatever we don't finish, I will be doing over the weekend. So here are our two little chimney blocks. Love that. Now we can kind of assemble all of this together, which is pretty cool. So you get to see how this all comes together. Let me flip this over. So let's start off with a first one here. I think we're going to grab this one here. We're going to grab the little chimney. We'd still need to square that off, so we have to kind of square it. See if there's any trimming going on there. And then I'm going to go back and grab my window block. Oops. And of course I dropped one of them. That's okay. And that one is going to go underneath. So let me kind of turn it around for you guys. And I'm going to remove my little rotating mat. It's kind of in my way. Okay, so here's the window. And here is the roof. Scoot that down a little bit. And then we've got the little chimney going over here. And we need to add a couple pieces over here to the window. Nice little long piece that you're going to add there. And you've already got your rooftop. Let's see, this one is F. Oh boy, we'll have to find it. And then let me see if I move this out of the way. I believe this will be here. Scoot Miss Molly all the way out. Boy, these blocks are big. These blocks are really, really big. Well, we're going to have a center piece that's going to go there. So it won't exactly be there like that. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to go here. And then our window here is going to go on the other side. My goodness, make sure you have enough space, everyone. Okay, she's looking like a house, right? Let's see if I can move her down. You can see the chimney there. There we go. I think you can see that a little better. There's going to be a centerpiece, which is going to have the door. We'll have to work on that one. But this is what the layout is looking like. Now, the rickrack that we have, like I said, I need to get the correct rickrack, but the rickrack is going to, and I'll move this down just a tad more. Hopefully it doesn't fall off my table. The rickrack is something that is going to go underneath this fabric here, and you're going to want to bend it to do a little curvy motion. Okay, so let me scoot these a little bit down. That way you can see that a little better. So this is where the rickrack's going to go, underneath here. It's going to go to some background fabric, and then we're going to just kind of curve it. And you can kind of be creative, anything that you want to kind of demonstrate the little smoke coming out of the house. Of course, this is going to be white rickrack is what I'm going to be using, but I'm just using the blue to demo it. So you'll have the little rickrack showing the smoke coming out, and you can bend it a little bit to get that little bit of that curve, or you can leave it straight up. It's really up to you and however long you want to do it. Of course, the book gives you the dimensions, but you can change it up any way you want. But that's how you're going to put that rickrack, is right underneath that chimney. So we've got our little house all put together. There's some pieces here that it will call for, and let me just grab that one. It is the F piece. Let me just take a peek, and here I think it's right here. Oop, dropped the little letter. Yeah, it is going to be so cute, Fran. It is, and it's just so huge. These blocks are just so huge. They're going to be fun. Okay. That is a big house. Definitely needs a dog house.
No dog house. I
don't know, man. You get treats. Yeah, you get treats when you're a good boy. Yeah.
Let me get my treats. Where did I put my treats?
I don't know. Do you have treats?
I had treats. I don't know where I put them.
Let's see. I want to make sure I grab the right one. So while you're getting your treats, let me just look up Fabric F. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay. We've got FF also, and that is
Here are my treats.
this piece. Those are your treats. Okay, she's got treats. Goodness, you always have everything. There's your treats, because you were a good boy today. Okay. All right, so we've got the house here. This is what's going to be added on to the window. So this will be all together there. And then, of course, it'll eat away at your seam allowance, and all of this will be put together like something like that, okay? And then we're going to add the rickrack to the top. Now, I've got the white rickrack is what I want to put up here, and unfortunately don't have it. I'm going to have to go pick it up. So I thought I had it, but when I looked, I have every color of the rickrack except the color that I needed. So I'll have to kind of go back and check that and get some white rickrack, and I'll put that behind here. Then we're going to work on that center one, which is really the same of what we've been doing. It's got the front door, and it's got a little heart that you can put on the front door, and then you've got the little button for the door handle. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do that. So I should have the block all ready to go. I'm hoping to piece everything together and have it ready for Monday. We'll see how the weekend goes. But yes, very big block, and it's going to be huge because that centerpiece is pretty large too. So this is going to be spread out a little bit here. So yeah, it's going to be quite a big house here, but really love how it's coming together. So the last thing I'm going to do here is now just kind of do this right size together and sew this to the window right there. And then on this end, we're going to do the same thing here. That'll add that additional piece that you need here. Okay, looking good, right, guys? Amazed how just such a huge quilt gets put together. And, you know, this is the first quilt of 2026, and it was huge, right? So we started it off with a bang, got a really big quilt put together. So I'm excited about that. So I'll go ahead, I'm going to piece all of this together, have the house completed, and then I'm going to see if I can assemble. There's no way I can assemble the whole quilt on a live because this table's just not big enough. So I'm going to see if I do some of the assembly on my own, and then I will show you the result, hopefully Monday. So stay tuned on Monday because we've got some show and tell to do for Monday. Alrighty, guys, if you're doing the quilt, go ahead and put your pictures on Facebook because I would really love to see it, and the doggy would too. So go ahead and post those pictures or whatever project it is that you're working on. I'd love to see what's going on in your crafting life. Okay, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day and a great weekend, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Say Mr. H, say Mr. H. So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.